Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics that's Non-Classics. This is episode 924 and Double Shot number 818. Two Superman trades. First up, it is Superman for All the Seasons. Written by Jeff Loeb, artwork by Tim Sale. This collects the four issue limited series by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. But that's not the only thing in here. Oh no. We also have a story from Batman Secret Files number 1, Batman 26, and Soul number 1. Yep. We're thinking, a miniseries by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale that's only 4 issues? Yeah, it's quite short. And in case you're wondering where to pick this trade up, picked up Molly's for like $6. Yeah, for a trade that was originally $30. This is the deluxe edition. Yeah, vertical price was the same with $30. One thing I did notice though when I was reading this is that Tim Sale draws Superman to look like suit-wise, kind of like the Superman from the animated series, but his head kind of also similar to that as well, but also throwing into a little of the Golden Age Superman as well. Mostly it just telling about Superman's early years. As of where in the world Superman timeline does this take place? No idea. Oh, because Superman series. Does Batman show up in here? No, he doesn't. We see sort of Superman's life over the course of like a year. We see Lex with hair. And we see Paul Starber's romance with Lois Lane. We see a little bit of his romance with Lana Lang. Pete shows up in here. I think it's like Pete. I'm trying to think what was his last name. It's basically his best friend from Smallville. He shows up in here as well, along with Jimmy Olsen. Perry White shows up in here. Aside from Lex, I think there's like one original villain in here named Toxin, a character, and she's a woman who Superman saved previously, who apparently is also in love with him. Like, what woman is not in love with Superman? I mean, all women in this universe who are not, well, female superheroes, do find Superman to be very handsome and attractive, though he has one woman to tie him down, and her name is Lois Lane. This by far is a fantastic miniseries, and I highly recommend if people are fans of Superman, and people are fans of the duo of Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I'm going to see Tim Sale when I go to the Comic Con in a couple months. I'm going to get him to sign this thing, and this course is really, really good. I think this book a 10 out of 10 fantastic miniseries. I kind of wish Jeff Loeb would basically just continue working with Tim Sale, because it seems like half the time when he does what people like Tim Sale, at least Jim Lee, he produces books like Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum, two of his worst books of his entire career. Ultimatum is his worst, second worst Ultimates 3. But this is one of his best books he ever did. And this one came roughly 20 years ago. It came out in 1989. Yep. Alright, so next up we have another Jeff Loeb book. We have Superman Batman Volume 2, collecting issues 14 to 26. Here's the thing about these issues. 2 of these issues were never collected in the original Superman Batman trades, and that was issue 19, which was simply collected in the first trade that collected issues from Supergirl Volume 5, and 26. The thing with 26 is that I can't think of a reason why it wasn't collected. Here's the thing about this issue. It's an issue written by Sam Loeb. Those of you are thinking, who in the world is Sam Loeb? He's Jeff Loeb's son who committed suicide over 10 years ago. That's who he is. Yes. The story he wrote for this issue was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It even has the backup story, which is collected here as well in this trade. But this is the first time it's collected in this series, which is good. The 2 main stories in here, you have Absolute Power, which is just Batman and Superman go through several different alternate versions of themselves, like one where they rule the world, where the Justice League apparently are dead and brought back to be the Lazarus Pit. It's an odd 6-parter, actually it's a 5-parter, but it's quite interesting. Last one is With a Vengeance. Yep. Involving these characters, involve like the Dark Side here, the Dark Side in these stories. Yep. You see various divinities like of course Kamandi, Sergeant Rock, and various other characters. This is good 2 story arcs. Now, here's the thing about the artists in here. The artists in these issues, the main ones are Ed McGuinness, which I met this guy, fantastic guy to meet, Carlos Bachio, and Ian Churchill. Ian Churchill will later on become the first artist of Supergirl Volume 5, which became infamous for him not knowing how to draw Supergirl properly, where it was mainly due how he drew her legs. Yes. And that drew controversy. And apparently, he also had this thing of drawing her skirt really, really short. Yeah, I'm not sure what his thing was. I don't know if he had a fetish for short skirts. I mean, the skirt was so short that, like, a quick, tiny, like a brief little gust of wind can easily blow a skirt up and show off her panties. Yep. Also in the issue, apparently bizarre, like in these issues we have, I think it was issue 19. We have Bizarro show up on Themyscira for some reason. As for how in the world he got there, he flew, and apparently he comes like he sees Supergirl's costume just hanging on a coat hanger, and then just behind him you see Supergirl in a towel, and it looks like she's wearing two towels by the look of it. And it's not covered her chest, and apparently she's so quick she would put on her clothes really quickly. Also, there's the infamous panel in here from issue 19 that is actually all over the internet, mind you. Yes, if you look this up, this is on the internet. Also, we have an issue featuring Captain Atom, which is a loose follow-up in here to what happened in the Captain Atom Armageddon miniseries. Yeah. Now, what's the famous image I'm talking about? Image that's actually all over the internet. Yeah, it's this. Poison Ivy making out with Supergirl. And this is her first kiss. And she says, yeah, this is so funny. So, the whole bullets bounce off your thing too. It tickles. Hey, princess, tickle this. And she makes out with her. And for some reason, Supergirl is immune to her kryptonite brainwashing. Yeah, is it really developed upon by next page revealed that Batgirl is actually Clayface? Yeah, now this apparently is Barbara Gordon Batgirl, which anybody who knows DC Comics at this point, that is not. Here's the thing about this particular Batgirl: Barbara Gordon was not Batgirl at this point. At this point in time, I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was Cassandra Cain was Batgirl. Yeah, those of you curious though, when in the world did Supergirl meet Barbara Gordon? She made it just like a couple years ago in the first annual for Batgirl, the current volume of it. But yeah, these issues pretty much signal the end of Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness' run for this book. Because after this, we have rotating door writers for like almost every single story arc, like writers and artists. Do not know why, but that's basically the way it was. I'm going to give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. But it's kind of interesting, though, that the first two story arcs for this very series were adapted into 2 movies, but not the third and fourth story arcs. Yeah, the Public Enemies movie, that's an adaptation of the first arc of this very series. The one that featured one is called Batman Suit Apocalypse, that's an adaptation of the second arc of this series, which is called Supergirl. Which the reason why they changed the name was because Wonder Woman did not sell very well, the animated movie, not the live action that came out a couple years ago. Yeah, that's what I've heard the reasoning for it. And I'm like, really? That's the reason why you changed the name of the movie from Supergirl to Apocalypse? Yeah, it really makes no damn sense at all. Well, these issues are good. Now, I've reviewed the majority of these trades so far, at least about 4 of them so far. The ones I had not reviewed yet, volumes 1, 3, and I believe 7. I have not reviewed 7 yet. Not that I can think of, no. But yeah, not much else to say. But it's interesting, though. And by the way, these issues were collected in 2 volumes. Yeah, 3 and 4. That was the issues these were originally collected in. But like I said before, 1926 were not collected in the series. 19 had been collected before, but not in Superman Batman. 26. This, I do not understand why this issue wasn't collected. It's a great issue, and it has very different artists on it. And yes, it's technically the finale for Jeff Loeb's run, but why was it skipped? No idea. It's one of the most bizarre things. Yeah, I mean, if you look at like a lot of older DC trades, they have a tendency to just skip issues. I've had this theory run around the past few years of the reason why this is because DC must have had when they collected stuff in trade. If something is not written by the regular writer, don't put it in trade. But luckily enough, DC in the past 7 years have been trying to correct that mistake with these new printing trades. Yeah, like this series here. Yeah, as a matter of fact, in the previous volume, yeah, I believe it was issue 7, I believe it was. 7 had never been collected before in trade. Yeah, never did. Despite the fact Loeb himself did write it, because, yeah, unknown why it wasn't collected, but, yeah, look how DC is trying to fix their mistakes when it comes to the trades. Yep. And I haven't read every single trade, I've read the majority of them, but I have read the series, the whole entire thing. But this is one fantastic series. I do recommend people who are fans of Batman. Yeah, because it does expand upon some stuff that well, basically the first two story arcs basically kind of like that too, or kind of like that where they just have the whole DC universe being involved. This just basically like one's an alternate, the series of alternate tales, like realities, which I think some of these characters do come back afterwards. I believe so. Yeah. But yeah, nothing much else to say, but two really good trades. Yeah, otherwise, though, that's really it for this particular review. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. At the time these came out, Barbara Gordon was Oracle. Yes, anybody who been reading comics for a long time knows that Barbara Gordon was Oracle at this point, not Batgirl. The only time we saw as Batgirl was in flashback, never in present day. Nobody saw that until 2011. Which a lot of people were upset when they took her out of the wheelchair. And it was questionable for 5 years if she was ever Oracle in the continuity. Look how Batgirl and Birds of Prey actually fixed that question, fixed that problem. Yep. So yeah, not much else to say about these two trades. So that's it for this particular review. I might get time to do 2 more reviews tonight, which review the new chapter of My Hero Academia and 7 Deadly Sins. It's a maybe these two. If not, I'll save them for tomorrow. Okay? But here's the next review. Bye.